If healing wasn't needed, there might not be a healing train for us to hop on to have these painful conversations and address the wounds that need to be healed. Whether we are aware of our wounds or they are suppressed or ignored, we have them. They linger in the background. They show up in triggers. They appear in our reactions, in our day to day lives. And they will be that culprit you can't get rid of until you face it head on. Thank you for joining me on yet another season of the Healing Train podcast. I'm Rania, a survivor of narcissistic abuse, a self made woman, a fighter, a light worker. I show up here in this space hoping to make a difference in just one person's life. If that's you, I'm happy you found me. And if you know someone who will benefit from these talks, share it, comment, share your thoughts, experiences, share your wins, share your struggles. Join me on the special episodes I announce on this show where your voice can be heard. Yes, you. Your story matters too. The lessons you learned can help another soul. So come aboard the Healing Train every Wednesday, where we will laugh, cry, and heal together. Thank you for joining me on this special episode on the Healing Train podcast with Rania, yours truly. Today's episode has been inspired by the divine, guided. Not sure. All I know is that this morning when I was brushing my teeth, I had these thoughts, rather a question that led to more thoughts. And I felt it was necessary for me to share this with my audience. Not knowing exactly what I'm going to say and where I'm going with this thought, but I decided I'd give it a try. And I got my confirmation as I looked at my phone and I saw the timing was 7:22, and that was in the morning. And if you know me, you know this number is significant for me. So I got my confirmation, and here comes this episode. A simple question. Where do our decisions come from? Where do they come from? What place? From what state? Influenced by what? You ever thought about that? Well, these are the thoughts that were running through my head this morning. And I figured, wow, if I were to analyze this for a little bit, our decisions and the choices that we make every day in our lives, whether it be big or small, are all influenced by our thoughts, our feelings and emotions, which are a result of our thoughts, our belief system, what we believe to be true for ourselves, or what we've learned and been conditioned to believe or to accept, our patterns, our habits. Many times you'll find yourself making certain choices out of habit because it's the way you've always been doing it, or that's what you've witnessed, and you're continuing down the same path. Little do we take time to stop and think, where is this coming from? Where is this habit or pattern coming from? Why do I do the things that I do, when I do them, how I do them? We don't always stop and think about those silly things, let's say, because to some, they'd be like, that's so silly. Why would I even think about that? Yeah, okay, they may seem silly, but they're part of your makeup, part of who you are. And as a result, your decisions stem from them. So what I want to unpack here is when we are in overdrive, overwhelm, over analysis paralysis, let's say, we make our decisions from that place. And the consequences of those decisions are going to be as a result of living in anxiety, paranoia, fear,
If you're uncertain of who you are, you're going to make a decision that stems from that place. On the other hand, if you are someone who is confident, know your self-worth, know your value, set your boundaries, you know what you're not going to tolerate, your decisions are going to be coming from that place of certainty, from that place of confidence, of self-worth. You're not going to settle for less. You're going to be able to say no more. You're not going to be scared to set a boundary, stick to it, and make sure that those who cross the boundaries understand the consequences of doing that. Yeah, these are my thoughts. Are we alert to where our decisions are coming from? Imagine all your life, all you knew was this was the pattern of your thinking. For example, someone who isn't confident in their abilities, they would always use the language, can't, it's not possible, won't happen, and so forth. And they'd be so negative in their way of thinking. The decisions that they take on a day-to-day life will stem from that. That is the foundation that they have to make every single choice, even really silly things throughout the day that you would have to make decisions on. If that's who you are, if that's all you believe about yourself, that's where your decisions are going to come from. And the results will follow. And many times, you'll find yourself living in chaos. And then you wonder, why nothing ever works out for me? Well, why don't you think about the way you're thinking to begin with? Why aren't you taking the time to see how you are self-sabotaging your life by the decisions that you are making that are coming from that place? Why would it change? Why would one situation's outcome be any different from the other when it's all stemming from the exact same foundation? A foundation of, I'm not good enough. I don't know what I'm doing. This is not possible. Bad things always happen to me. I just have bad luck. And the list continues. So maybe it's time to monitor those thoughts and those beliefs and the language that we are using when we are describing ourselves, and really take the time and ask, is it true? Is it true? What made it true? What makes me believe that I'm not good enough? What makes me think that I'm not capable of doing something, and therefore I stop myself from living, or I have to turn to people all the time for help, thinking that I can't do something? Did you try? Some questions for you to ask yourself. You know, I wasn't always this confident woman talking. I was that one person who used the words, I can't do it, it's not possible. I always used the negative because once upon a time, I didn't think I was good enough. I had trauma that I needed to heal, truth that I had to face, limiting beliefs that I had to unlearn. And it's still a journey, still going through it. But I'm doing so much better now than I once was. I don't even recognize myself anymore. I'm like, really? That's me? I used to say that? I used to talk like that? Yeah, I did. But that's in the past. That's no longer me. This me right here is sharing with you her journey of healing from many things. One of them is knowing that my decisions are influenced by my state of being, by my belief about myself and what I know to be true. Yes, I question a lot. And I'd like you to do the same. I'd like you to start questioning more, asking why you've adopted this pattern. Why? What made you do that? And yes, it's going to be hard work because you're going to have to dig deep. And if you can't do it alone, that's what professional help is for, in whichever form you choose. Therapy, counseling, coaching, whatever it is makes you feel comfortable. The bottom line, there are options out there for you. You can always seek help if you feel you can't do it alone or it's too heavy. But just know this, you are capable of doing it alone. Because at the end of the day, your coach or your therapist is going to ask you a question that you will still have to find the answer to. No one can find the answers for you. The answers are within you. Now, whether you know how to ask the right questions or not, and how to dig and where to dig, that's a skill. And in wrapping up this episode that I didn't prepare for, and I feel was guided, I know that whatever message I am providing today in this episode, and whoever is going to listen to it needed it. So don't pass it off as a coincidence that you just came across this. There's a message here for you. There's something here for you to work on. And I'd like you to take that opportunity and run with it. The same way I saw the number on my phone and felt that this was a sign. This was a sign that I'm supposed to be recording this message today. Not tomorrow, not even later on. Now, I had the calling and I answered that call. Now it's in your hands. You have a calling to question. Where are your decisions coming from? From what place? From what state of being? What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? What are your patterns? What are your beliefs that could be holding you back? Things you learned that maybe it's time to unlearn. And with that, I end this episode wishing you all healing, love, and peace. And until the next episode, keep on healing you.